Hello everybody. I'm gonna let the garage doors go up. Hello everybody. So, this week's video, as much as I would like to continue working on this and maybe even deal with that freaking tire, because I just went and bought some parts for this and I've figured out a little bit more of the wiring on it in the last couple days. This is not going to be the beginning of this video. The beginning of this video is going to be getting this out of the garage and bringing the Spitfire inside, because I have the U-joints for it and I want to go ahead and get that cleaned up because I'd like to drive that this week. So that's what this video is going to be. I'm really excited about. I just went and got a new muffler and everything for this, so we can actually get it to sound halfway decent instead of it being straight pipe and loud as hell. I have gotten a vast majority of the wiring for this whole mess figured out to where that will be legal. I believe the plan is here a little later today once the wife is off work. So we're going to the DMV. We're getting the title done for this finally, the tags done for this and the Spitfire. Just everything's going to be coming together to where hopefully, fingers crossed, the next video on this car, it might actually be roadworthy. The biggest concern left with this on it actually being like legitimately roadworthy is whatever the sound is when you're off of the clutch in gear, in first and second gear. It's got a bit of a rotational clunk. I don't know if it's excuse me guys, I don't know if it's the clutch or if it's something in the transmission that's sticking. I don't know. I'm hoping that doing a fluid change on it, because God knows what the level of the transmission fluid really is in it right now, and I'm betting it's not a lot. It's probably not been done in 20, 30 years. So I want to get that done. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully it'll unstick anything in the transmission that might be kind of stuck. Because, I mean, the clutch does work good. It shifts okay. There's a slow shifting transmission on top of that, so you can't, you're not going to bang this thing through the gears with that column shift, because it's a little on the vague side. But for what I want the car to do, it's going to be fine as long as the sound goes away for the transmission. If that doesn't go away, then there's most likely a transmission issue, and I don't know what that's going to take to fix. Because 9 times out of 10, I'll have to try to find another 3-speed. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to find another 3-speed, because I don't know where to even start to look for another 3-speed, or what the cost of one of those is going to be. Because it's one of those, I don't want to spend $1,000 for a transmission on a car that cost me $550. Because if I'm going to go that route, well then we're just going to rip everything out, rip the rear end out to get rid of the torque tube, and then we're going to drop like an LS in it or something, because it's going to be simpler. It'll become, instead of it being a 3-speed inline 6, it'll just be a 4-speed auto, you know, LS and whatever Ford rear end I stuff in the back of it. So yeah, so I'm trying to be very careful about what I do, because I don't want to have to go down a route like that with it. Because honestly, if I got to go down a route like that with it, I kind of don't want it to work on the car anymore. It ruins what I got the car for. So I'd like to do something about that wiring too. I don't know. It could end up being that this ends up being a quick jump to the Spitfire, because I really need to change a U-joint in it to keep it drivable. And then we end up back on this. I don't know yet. I really want to get the Spitfire cleaned up though, and because I want to be able to drive that. I think that's definitely more roadworthy at the moment than this is. So yeah. Enough of my rambling. Let's get some things moved around. My brake lights. Alright, that took a little bit longer than I expected to. Got it inside. And, yeah, I went to move the Rambler, forgot about the flat tire that I just mentioned literally like 2 minutes before that. Yeah, so the first thing we gotta do is we gotta get the back end of this thing up in the air. The U-joint connected to that tire is toast. So I need to get that shaft out and get that U-joint changed before I can do really anything else. Or there's anything else I want to do, I should say. This side doesn't seem to be as bad. I need to air up all the tires. Like, I'm really debating on how I drove this thing an hour home, because it is not perfect by any means. So, but I did. I drove it an hour home and it did just fine. So then after that, I think we're going to attempt to clean up the paint a little bit, maybe. I want to get I got to get the interior clean before I even think about driving it more, because the interior is not letting me in. The interior is all sorts of dirty. The door panels are coming apart, and this right here is irking me more than I think anything. And that door handle, I think I popped the pin apart for it the first time I tried getting out of it, because the door striker was bent, is the best way to put it. This right here had a big old like whoop-de-doo in it that come out, and the door was hitting on it. So that had to have something done about it. And it seems like whenever you open this door, I don't know if it's just because that door panel is not attached to anything currently or what, but it catches on the door striker. So I'm hoping by putting the door panel back in place right, maybe that problem will solve itself. Or it's just the problem in general and I got to figure out how to actually fix it properly. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Yeah, that's where we're starting. We're starting with that wheel though. So now to figure out how to get it jacked up and go from there. Unfortunately, this is a job needs it way back there where you can't see it. So I am going to have to try and get it out and go from there, and I'll bring you back when I've made some progress, because you guys aren't going to be able to see anything no matter where I put you, unfortunately. Just give you guys an idea. Right here is what I'm working on, and this right here is the space where my face is looking at it. 4 bolts for this. This shouldn't have that kind of play in it, so that's the whole issue. Trying to get it out to where I can actually change it now, and it is it's fun to get to, let me tell you. All of the fun. Ugh. Well, this is where we're at. I had to remove literally the entire corner so I could try to fight getting the U-joint out, to end up giving up because I was just breaking the snap rings. I wasn't actually getting them out, and I dropped the whole shebang off at a machine shop here in town. They said, oh, it'll be later today or tomorrow. I will have my whole unit back with a new U-joint in it, as long as the one that I have is the correct U-joint. So I'm at a standstill on that. I can't do any more there until they're done. Then I can put it back together, and that will be what I feel is the biggest mechanical flaw on this car currently fixed. Other than now I've got to bleed the brakes. That's whatever. I can live with that. But that also means until that's done, I'm at a standstill with that. I can work on some other things on this, which is probably what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can maybe start getting some of the interior clean. Maybe put the top down so I can get into the interior to clean it a little bit easier. Just those types of things. And go from there, figure out where I'm at. Where I get to looking, there's definitely some other things I got to figure out how I'm going to do and fix on this thing at some point. But I can get it to where I'm happy with it for right now and then go from there. Show you guys around some of the rest of the car, because I mean I didn't really do that when I showed it to you earlier, but to give you some more detail, it's a 79 Triumph Spitfire. It's a relatively stock car. My understanding is it's technically a 3-owner car, because, oh, Jesus, this hood's heavy. Hang on, guys. Whew, that is a heavy hood. And I just stepped on my center cap. Ah! Yeah, technically, from my understanding is, it's a well, technically, I'd be like the 4th owner of it. The person I bought it off of, her father was the original owner of the car, but it had changed hands one time between him having it and then her getting it. She bought it off the guy that her dad sold it to. So, long story short there. It does need some work. It is not perfect. This is all, I mean, it's all clean, just dirty. So, obviously right now it's going to be a little low on brake fluid because, well, some dummy's got a line disconnected, leaking everywhere. The biggest thing we've found so far that irks me a little bit is, well, right there's some wiring for the headlight. And here is the rest of the wiring for the headlight. So I've got to go through, piece that all back together, get that headlight to work again. And then after that, it does seem to run and drive fairly decent. I do think I'm going to look into a Weber Carb swap for this, even though I know, my God, you mention Weber Carb on anything British, people lose their mind. I really like Weber Carbs better than the stock, especially when you're talking these big Zenith, like Stromberg style cars, the single carb instead of the dual carb setups that the earlier stuff all seem to come with. I just like it better. I can tune it better. I can tweak it better. It's just, for me, it works better. So, and this car needs either a header or manifold anyway, because that manifold is just a wreck. So, but I do believe, unlike the later MGBs, that this is still a single piece, or this is not a single piece, where the intake and exhaust manifold are one piece, like the earlier the later MGBs are. Because the later MGBs have this disaster of a setup right here, where the intake and the distributor, or not the intake and the distributor, the intake and the exhaust manifold, there we go, those are the right words, Jesus Christ, are all one part. So, while they're chambered separately, they're cast as one part, which means if you want to replace either or, you got to replace both. I hate that. Yeah, so that's something I got to deal with. Obviously, someone did some touch-up paint, more so on the driver's side. You can kind of see it on camera, but my God, does it stand out in person. Especially this spot. I don't know what they paint matched it to, but it wasn't this. And it's very clearly, it wasn't even good paint when they did it. So I would like to I'm going to get it cleaned up the best I can for now. And then I do know a guy locally that does some respray work. I'm going to see maybe I can't just get him to, like, kind of right here at this pinstripe line. See if I can't get him to, like, dust over the top. I might try to fix the dents before that point. I don't know. But just see if I can't get him to do that. Maybe I'll just try to rattle a can it and something myself. I don't know. But that alone would make the car look 100% better. So, and if I just do it at that, then that means I can just do the hood, I can do the top parts of the doors, do around the windows, and do the whole top part of the car. So, which won't be that bad to do. These I'd like to actually pull off, because these are supposed to be chrome, not painted to match the car. I like to pull them off, see if I can't sand them back down, clean them up, make them look right. Or maybe do them in black. I think that'd look better than matching the car. And then we still got to go through. We got to clean the entire interior, top to bottom, because it is just a dirty, nasty disaster. I got to get the door panels back on right. Like I said, there's a lot of little things that need done with this. Some of it's going to get done in a hurry, some of it not so much. But the big thing is I want to have it drivable again before I even really dick with a lot of anything else, because of the fact that it's just I don't want it setting half dead all the time. So the one big major mechanical thing that needed done was that U-joint. That's getting done. I have the stuff to go ahead and redo this brake. They already redone this one. So it's got a new caliper, my understanding, new rotor, new pads, new soft line, and everything to do the other one, from what my understanding, is, if I can get the seat to move, is back here behind the seat. So everything's there to do the second brake. I want to get that done. I want to clean up the paint. I am not going to try to buff and polish this thing just because there are too many imperfections to make it look good. I will probably pull some of this stuff away. I want to clean this up. I'm going to try to wire wheel it or just leave a lot of it in place and hit it with my portable sandblast. Get this cleaned up, and I might shoot some yellow in there, or I might just hit it with black and be done, just so it looks better. That was a clutch fluid low. Clutch fluid's low too, so need to put fluids in everything. Checked the oil while I was there. The oil looked fine. Radiator seems fine. Just brake wasn't low until I disconnected that line. But I think what we're going to go ahead and do next, before I bother cleaning a lot, is I want to try to get this door panel the rest of the way off. And see if I can't fix that door handle and get the rest of this to lay back down right to where it's not a disaster here. And that'll make me feel better. And then we'll probably move on to the other door panel. Maybe I'll see what it's going to take to just get the seats out of the car and vacuum the floor that way. But yeah, I'm just not trying to do a lot until I get this done. Mainly because it's just, that's the major thing that needs done right now. And if I can't get that done for a week, there's no point in touching all this. I mean, there is, but it's just going to annoy me working on it while I'm sitting here waiting for that. So, all right. Time to move on to something instead of just rambling on. Well, not exactly how I wanted to do that. I just had to add some screws to some things that where there shouldn't be screws. But the door panel's on now. Door works. More importantly, the inner door handle works again. So I can now get out of the car from inside the car, which is better than it was. No, the window is not rolled all the way up. There's not that big a gap. Of course the mirror fell off. Of fucking course. Alright. It is in. It's all back together. The only thing I'm waiting for now, laying here under the car, I sent the wife to Advance to grab a grease gun and some grease, because I forgot I don't have one, and I need one. So I sent her after that. So when she gets back, I can hit some of the grease points on this, fill this one with grease, because I don't know how much grease is actually in it, and get out from underneath this damn thing. Then I think well, yeah, I can get out from underneath of it, but then we gotta at least bleed the brakes because of this one brake. Maybe I need to go ahead and change out everything on that front one, so I might do that before we bleed them too. I haven't quite decided yet. I might just go ahead and get this one bled and get it down off the jack stands and see how it feels. What? Hi, baby. She got her car out. She's driving. Are you driving? Yeah. She's outside and enjoying the weather for the day. Oh! You being good? Silly girl. Yeah. Alright, once she gets back with the grease gun, I'll get that done and I'll bring it back as we get the brakes done. Because my God knows, Lord knows, y'all have seen me bleed brakes enough times. I don't know what I would have been doing that on 1,000,000 freaking times. Probably still needs more. Damn car. Okay, well, I got most of this front brake done. The other front brake's completely done. Got them bled. The back is either not getting any fluid or we just were not pumping enough to get it there. I don't know which, but I can't get any brake fluid to that brake. So I'm kind of at a loss at the moment. I think I'm going to have to order new lines and new wheel cylinders for the rear. Either way, I got front brakes for the minute, so that's, I mean, good enough by my standards on these little things. As I showed already, that U-joint's fixed. I don't think any more is going to get done tonight, just because I know it is starting to get late. Oh, and the car is tagged and legal now too, and I have a tag for the Rambler, which is scary. Proof that Ohio will let you tag and register anything. No, that thing, it's not too far away from being a running and driving car. So, hopefully, relatively soon, that will be the case. It will be a running and driving car that I can actually drive more than back and forth to Advance and feel comfortable in it. Fix that headlight too. Some of this stuff I didn't do on camera because of the fact that I had the wife out here helping me. So when I have her out here helping me, I don't film as much, even though that might not make sense because, well, not trying to waste her time while I'm doing all of it. So when I got her out here helping me bleed brakes and stuff, I don't interrupt that with filming because, well, I want to get it done. That way she can move on with whatever else she's trying to do, and I'm not wasting her time. She did go through with some Flex Seal tape and patched up the roof from the inside, so it's at least waterproof now, or more waterproof than it was before. Water resistant, I guess would be a better way of putting it. And that'll do for now. I think in the next coming weeks I need to make a trip over to Pandora, Ohio, because there is a out of all the places in the world to have a rather major parts supplier for one of these is 20 minutes away in Pandora, Ohio. Kind of an odd place. It's a very small little town. That and the gas station, there's like 2 guys over there named Ted, and they own everything. And that's not a joke. Legitimately, the main gas station in town, it's like the little like supermarket thing too, and the importer for this, both guys are named Ted, and they are not the same Ted. But alright, so I think the next goal is to go ahead and get this thing out of the garage and see how it acts now that everything is fixed, and maybe find my mount to put in here too and take you guys along for the ride inside, as the wife is calling it, Bananarama. I'm not a fan of that name. I think the mount is in the truck. Let's go look. Oh, ye stack of oldie tires. We got that cleaned up finally. It's better than it was. No more camper sitting in there that was a waste of time. Random tire. So we've been, now that I've had more time off and she's in the process of getting her schedule changed around, so we aren't going to exactly have a ton of time off together, but we'll have enough time off together, and she will have more days off depending on how it all works, because, well, pretty much if I'm at work, she kind of can't be at work, or if I'm not working, or if I'm working, she can't work, because, well, come out. I'm trying to film this, dang it. Thank you. Yeah, but if I have to work, I work 12-hour shifts, which means when I'm at work, I'm at work. When I'm at home, I'm asleep. Not much of an in-between, which means 4 days a week, I really can't watch the kids. The other 4 days, or the other, you know, the rest of the week, the 4 days I'm off, because I'm 4 on, 4 off, I can watch the kids no problem. She can work as many hours as she wants. But on those other 4, it's a no-go. I can't. If I'm up watching kids while she's at work, I don't get any sleep. So there's that. I don't think her boss is overly thrilled by that, but well, you know, we got to do what we got to do. All right, I'm gonna try getting you guys tossed up here in this mount, and we'll try going for a drive if we can. See if I can readjust this dang seat too. All right, I'll have you guys back when I got you in the mount. All right, I figure I need to return a Lona tool back to Advance, so we'll kill two birds with one stone. Hey! I don't hear it clunking no more, so we're at least a little bit better. There we go. Whoa, I have no brakes at all. So when she told me the brakes were there, she was full of shit. Brakes were not there at all. So, yeah, so that's definitely an issue. I've got a little bit of front brake. That's about it. There is no stop and click. So, alright, we'll see if Advance has a one-man bleeder set up while we're down there, because maybe I can get the back brakes done that way. Because right now it's going pretty much straight to the floor, and I got brakes right at the very bottom. It goes real great when the clutch is right on the floor. We need to do differential fluid and try bleeding the clutch system too while we're at it. May just order a new clutch master cylinder, slave cylinder to do on it too, just because that would make me feel a slight bit more comfortable. Differential change. They look so happy to see me. Fat man in a little car. Well, after that adventurous drive down to Advance, it's back in the garage. It's staying here overnight. I got the one-man bleeder kit, so hopefully I can get at least one, if not both of the back bleeders opened up and get them bled a little bit better. I did order new rear cylinder, or new rear wheel cylinders, because I could definitely not get this one over here to crack open. So I'm hoping maybe if I apply just a touch of heat to it tomorrow, maybe I can get it to come open. But we'll go ahead and I grabbed them so I can replace them, whether it's now or later. Either way, they need done. So I might as well have them to do it. And I'm going to do a little bit of investigating tonight to see what all fluids the rest of the car takes. so I can do change on the differential fluid and a change on the transmission fluid on it, hopefully tonight, or not tonight, but hopefully tomorrow. If not, sometime through this week, maybe. I don't know. I don't see it happening during the week just because, well, I work, like I said, I work 12-hour shifts. So if I can't get it done tomorrow, it might not get done, unfortunately. So I'm hoping to have, tomorrow is going to be a very busy day. If I can get everything done I want to get done, because I want to try to finish up the rear brakes to make it more drivable again. And I want to clean the interior, and I'd like to at least kind of clean up the top part of the paint. I mean, because this just looks terrible. So if I can clean up some of that stuff, maybe I don't really want to necessarily buff the whole car, but I want to at least try to clean it up to where it looks a little bit more presentable. And hopefully the fluid change will take care of some of the other sounds I think I'm hearing. It definitely sounds a lot better moving now with the rear, with the one so far rear U-joint changed. I'll probably get the other one done in a couple weeks, but for now that's a good start. I think I'm going to end up spending the $200 in the very near future too for the wheel adapters I need, so I can run 4x100 wheels on it, because I have a set I'd like to put on it. Although I like the 13s that are on it, so I could live with them being on the car. They're not an issue. I think, not the Spitfires, I think it's the GT6s or the TR6s, one of them, have a very similar looking wheel that is a 14 or maybe a 15. That's the same oddball bolt pattern as these. I would really like them, but because these are, they're not they're not any of the normal bolt patterns. They're not 4x100 or 4x114 or even 4x108. These are 4x98.25. So these and like a Lotus of the similar like year range share a bolt pattern, and that's it. Well, the Triumphs and the Lotus in this year range share bolt patterns, I should say, from my understanding. So I think I think those are in my future, the adapters, as well. I mean, I adapt everything to some degree. I mean, that's supposed to be 4x100, and it's 5x114. This is still its standard bolt pattern, but it's got wheel spacers in the front. That one I've got the adapters to make it 5x114, but that's more or less so I can actually push those wheels out a little bit. That's got wheel spacers on the front of it. I've got 4x114 to 4x100 wheel adapters for the MGs. Can't leave anything alone, guys. I've got a problem. But as I was saying, I believe this is it for tonight. I'm not going to go crazy trying to do any more when I don't have the stuff to do it. So, what is sticking to that tire? Ah, weird. So yeah, so we're going to give up here for tonight, but it is what it is. I burned up a lot of time today that I should have been able to get some other stuff done, waiting on that rear, which was probably an unnecessary wait, but it is what it is. So, but see you guys in the morning. Well, good morning again, everybody. I started on the Spitfire again for a little bit. I got this bleeder to open finally, so I think I'm going to go up and cancel my order for the new rear wheel cylinders. Yeah, words. Because the ones that are in there looked clean, and I was surprised I couldn't get the bleeder open because everything else had broke free on this car. But after just a wee bit of PB blaster and a tiny bit of heat, it cracked free. So maybe I just wasn't trying hard enough last night, and I'm thanking them for it. I don't know. Because I was afraid last night I was going to break it off if I kept trying. So I didn't put a ton of pressure against it. I put a bit more against it this morning after a little bit of heat, and it snapped right free. So I'm not sure which one to thank, but either way, it works. So the brake pedal now feels like I have brakes. I've not driven it yet to find out. So I think that's what we're going to get ready to do. We'll take another drive down to advance in it and see how that goes, and that'll determine whether or not I'm going to go ahead and cancel the wheel cylinders that are on their way in. I think honestly, with the way it feels at this point, rubber lines would probably do it more good than the wheel cylinders would. I could be wrong. After we get done with that, we'll move on to actually working on the inside, because I got the door panel done here, but it still all needs wiped down. The whole interior needs gone over, and we might take a little trip, not in this, probably in the minivan with the kids, over to a place in Pandora where they sell parts for these things, and see if see what all he has, and go from there. Bring you guys back in a couple. Okay, let's see how this goes again with the brakes. I said the brake pedal feels 100 times better than it did. Doesn't mean it's great though. Well, see how it does. I couldn't get it to stop bubbling, but at the same time, the gun itself just seems like it lets bubbles in. So much better. I have brakes now. Could probably do a bit more bleeding and get them even better, but I don't know if I want to spend much time doing that right now, or if I just want to be happy that it's drivable and that I can't quite lock them up. But I mean, they're manual brakes, so getting the lockup takes a lot of effort. Definitely want a new clutch master cylinder. I think that's going to go a long way to helping this car a lot too. Maybe a new slave cylinder as well, because it pretty much wants to operate on the floor. And I mean, it works. It's just a lot lower than I'd normally like, because you push the pedal all the way to the floor between every gear just to come about maybe 2 inches off the floor and already be in almost full engagement of the clutch. I prefer mine to be just a bit more between the floor and engagement than that, just because it makes shifting and taking off a lot smoother. But it was almost out of fluid, so I'm hoping maybe if I drive it some more, maybe that will get better. I know my MG every once in a while runs low on fluid, and it'll get this same way. You'll drive it a little bit, and it'll get better as you drive it, until it starts running low on fluid again. So I think it's got a small leak somewhere. I'm not 100% sure though. So let's there we go. Oh, we made it up, and brakes work good, so that's a start. Let's go in and see the wife and do a little bit of returning. I don't think I can film the store though, guys. Sorry. Oh, we managed to successfully drive around town for a little bit. I had to go from Advance over to Napa because I needed the correct gear oil for the transmission and rear end. And Advanced didn't carry it, so we went ahead and ran down there and did that while I was out. I figured it was better time than ever to do it. So I think the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to start getting some of the other stuff cleaned out of the interior and the trunk and figure out what's going on with everything from there. I'm going to get as much cleaned up on the inside as I can today. I definitely want to vacuum it and try to get some of the dog hair out of it, wipe down the dashboard and everything really good. I want to see if I can't uncover the top of the seats, but leave the bottoms covered, because the bottoms are the problem part. The tops actually look nice. And I want to get this trunk emptied out, because the trunk is, well, not terrible, but it's just got a bunch of crap sitting in it. So apparently they were running Rotella 1540 in it, I'm going to assume. And some concentrated antifreeze. I'm sure that needed watered down if it's not already. But, and then I just want to get the trunk vacuumed out, figure out what all's in here. Set of historical tags, I'm guessing, for this from one of the previous owners. So, oh, the old jack, that looks nasty as hell. So yeah, I think we're going to start cleaning it out the best we can, vacuum everything up, because there's a carpet that's supposed to be on the floor on my side. It was driving me crazy. It kept moving around under my feet and didn't like it. Oh, let's see. Moss Motors, what's that for? Pad fitting for split. Hey, that would have been handy when I was putting the brake together. Gear oil. Oh, tons and tons of dog hair. But this is what I was saying. Like, the bottom of it looks like hell. The top, if I can get it off. Top actually don't look half bad, and I'd like to leave that uncovered. So then down inside of here, it's hard to see right now with this, but she's all dirty down in there. So yeah, we're gonna start pulling things apart, see what we can do. I want to get this door panel popped back on better. I'm probably gonna do the same thing to this that I did to the other one. Just get everything lined back up, shoot some screws across the top, because the rest of this one seems to be staying on okay. It's just the top that seems to be the problem on this one. So as much as I hate saying it, I'm just gonna shove some screws in it and call it a day. I'm going to do it with the window up, unlike that side. To hopefully avoid putting any unnecessary marks or anything on this window, like I may have done on the other one. Oops. So yeah, but definitely want to get it cleaner to feel just a bit more, you know, together inside. Right now it doesn't feel very together in there. It feels like a freaking hot mess, and that alone is making it not that fun to drive. So I may see about putting the top down while I'm at it for the minute, or at least folding it part way down, just to see about being inside of it a little bit easier, but I don't see that actually happening. Yeah, I'm gonna start cleaning it out. I'll see if I can't get the camera set up so you guys can see something while I'm doing it, but no promises, because she's a tiny car. There is enough dog hair inside of this thing to reef-fur a bald dog. Holy crap. Ugh. Do the next owner of your cars a favor. If you have a dog, clean the car after every drive. Because this is after vacuuming so far, mind you. The sheer amount of dog hair just on this side alone is insane. I gotta see if I got like a lint roller or some tape, a miracle from God, something to start getting all this dog hair out of here, because it's driving me up the wall already looking at it. Does not matter how clean I get the rest of the car, if the dog hair is still there, it is still not clean. So that alone is making me 100% regret my purchase right now. But yeah, we'll find some tape and start getting it cleaned up, because that is it's a bit ridiculous. All right, on to the next thing. After a little bit of work, I have the dog fur down to a much more acceptable level, at least on the passenger side of the car. It's far from perfect, but it's at least livable and drivable now, where I don't feel like I'm riding around inside a dog's pelt. So I have to figure out what I'm doing about this, because this is rather unfortunate. The wood underneath of it looks nice enough though, so I can't really do a lot to clean that up at the moment. I am going to work on cleaning up the leathers though, and then I still got to work on screwing this in place back here. This whole car is going to be a lot more work than I thought. I'm not complaining. I'm not upset about it. Okay, maybe I'm a little upset about it. I did have my eye on another one besides this one that was also $3,000, and this guy got a hold of me first. That guy didn't get a hold of me until about 4 hours after I bought this one, and I sent them messages at the same time. And it wasn't like I bought it the same day I messaged them. I messaged them on Friday, and I didn't go over to look at this one until Saturday morning. And it took that guy almost 24 hours to message me back. And at that point, I was like, man, I already bought one, man. You gotta be quicker than that. But I do feel like the other one I didn't go and get was probably the better car. So there is that. That being said, at $3,000, I don't necessarily feel like I got ripped off, but I also don't feel like I really got as good a deal as what I thought I was getting. Given I knew some things in this was not great. Yeah, all right. I'm done moaning and complaining. I'll see if I can't set you guys back up so you can at least see me do something else other than the attempted deferring of the passenger side. Then I'm gonna hop in here, sit down, and I'll start wiping down all the leathers. Hopefully I can get it set up over there on the old tripod where you guys can see me do that at least. I'm gonna try to get the dash done and get this done. Oh, hey, that's not attached at all to anything. I want to say I'm surprised. I'm not surprised. Hey, that's not attached to anything either. Well, that's nice. Wonderful. Such a fun car, guys. Such a fun car. All right. I'm done whining. I'm going to throw you up in the tripod and get to cleaning. Okay, I gotta stop there for the minute because, well, it is starting to rain, so I need to get some stuff picked up outside quick, get a tire out of my way, and get it inside so I can finish doing what I'm doing. Oh, looks like I turned the lights on. Well, while they're on, see if everything's actually working. Hey, all the lights are working, the exception of the yeah, the license plate lights, which is whatever. Far from the first car I've had where those didn't want to work. But yeah. Yep, gotta get everything back inside with it raining. I don't feel like soaking my phone in the rain trying to do everything, or soaking the interior considering I got the windows open. Even though, oh, God knows it could probably help it. Yeah. So, can't tell my goal for this video is to have this thing at least to a respectable level of driver by the end of this video. That's my only goal. I do have some stuff for working on the old Rambler over there, but I think that is going to be another video because, well, I need ways to keep pumping out content, so, and I can't just keep buying cars to do it. So as much as I would like to make, just go ahead and start on everything with the Rambler too and get that done, that needs to be its own video. Alright, now to get the rotten banana inside. Yeah, that's a better name than the banana ram that the wife wants to call it, just because she's dirty. So, guy driving by in the van all confused, like, what is he doing? So, my whole 52 followers, not many people know I actually do YouTube yet. So, they don't know to expect to drive by and see a camera. Or see someone looking like they're recording with a phone, I guess I should say. I need to buy a like standalone camera to do this with, so I can get even better with my quality. Yeah, I don't see that happening anytime soon though. Sorry. So, although from what I've been told, my video quality on my phone doesn't seem to be too bad, so I rarely ever get to watch it on a TV screen. Alright. In we go. Whoop. Wop, wop, wop. Yeah, she cammed. By cammed, I mean poorly tuned. Alright, now to work on getting some more of this interior done after I stop rolling away. we go. I wouldn't call that perfect by any means. Still got to wipe off part of that door panel. Forgot to do the bottom part, but I also still got to do the top of that door panel. But it is much better than it was when I picked it up. So I can live with that. Oh, for now at least. Until I can get some new seat covers, or I got another pair of seats up there I might just try to fit in the car. I haven't quite decided yet. I know that, I know like Mazda Miata seats are very common to fit into these. So maybe I'll try to find a pair of them. Some Honda Del Sol seats wouldn't look bad in it either and be pretty comfy. Yeah. So that's about it for the inside though. Like I said, I'm going to fix that one door panel quick. After that, the inside's going to be good enough. I don't know how much I'm even going to try to do on the outside of it yet, because I mean, it looks like it don't matter. I'd be polishing a turd. I definitely want to clean this because this looks like hell. And I noticed there's some like black speckling and stuff on the hood, so I'm gonna try to wipe the whole car down really well. Maybe just run it to a car wash and spray it off, or wait for a day where it's not trying to rain every 3 seconds and actually pull the pressure washer out and pressure wash it. Can't get over how good those wheels look on that car. Yeah, they're dirty as hell. The car's dirty as hell. But man, do those wheels look good on there. Can't get over it. I don't know why. Ever since I put those wheels on that car, I'm not going to lie, I've been on the fence about selling this thing. And just calling it quits on this project altogether. Then I put those wheels on. And now I just want to get in and drive it. And I don't know why. I don't know why the wheels made that big of a difference. But they really did. They made that car grow up a lot. Anyway, wrong car. So, I gotta get my little mess out here cleaned up. I'm going to put the gear oil in the transmission in the rear end in this video, but you guys aren't really gonna get to see me do it because, again, there's so little room underneath of it. I've got to use like a hand pump to get the fluid out of the jug into the car. So if I can get the jug under the car to get the fluid pumped to it, it is not an easy or fun process. And like I said, the car's got to be in the air to do it. And I'm still not 100% sure on how to pick up maybe just one side of the car to get to it. So yeah, it's a learning curve. So I think let's go ahead and I'm going to grab some towels. I'm going to start wiping down the outside of it a little bit. At least get this cleaned up. This whole back area back here. I don't think I can do a lot for the rest of the car. I definitely not going to waste my time with the buffer. Because I don't think the buffer can do any good. Normally, like I've dealt with crap old paint before and it turned out fairly well. This is beyond that. This is beyond what the MG is. This paint's truly shot. But I can clean some of the nastiness off of it so it looks good driving down the road and like looks halfway decent while you're setting a stoplight. But like, I mean, if you guys can, I don't think you can really see it on the screen, but there's like just a layer of like black dirt sitting on top of it. So hopefully that I can get that off with like quick detailer and I ain't gotta break out anything too crazy. Yeah. All right, I'll stop rambling. We'll get to that. I think that's about as good as it's going to get. It ain't perfect by any means, but it's way better than it was. I'm much happier with the interior now than I was 5 minutes after I bought it driving it home. The outside still needs a ton of work. I don't think I'll get the outside to where I want it ever without a full respray. Which is not totally out of the realm of possibility, especially if I don't mind being a bit cheap about it. Because this is a quality level of car that, as much as it's going to hurt some people's feelings, I probably wouldn't mind hitting it with some rattle can. Because frankly, a rattle can paint job is going to look better than that. But I could hit it with a good rattle can paint job. Use some decent paint, blah, 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 blah. You know, yada, yada, yada. And I also do know a guy that I believe does relatively cheap resprays on stuff that you're not looking for perfection. You're looking for better than this shit. Now, don't get me wrong. He can do some very quality work, but the higher the quality, the more the cost. And he also knows not everyone's got 8-10 grand to drop on a respray and body work on something like this. Because, frankly, I don't. Could I come up with $1,000 to do it? Fuck yeah. Could I come up with $2 grand and do it? It'd take a second, but yeah, I could do it. And I feel like it'd be worthwhile at the end. Yeah. So I'm trying to think of a positive way to end this, because I'm not thrilled with the way it's turned out so far. That being said, I'm happier with it now than I was when I bought it. I still don't feel like it was worth necessarily the $3 grand I paid for it. But I'm happy that mechanically it seems decent enough. It runs and drives decent. It still needs an exhaust manifold, obviously, because we never touched that in this video. Nor do I have one, because I bought this thing 2 days ago. So that tells you how quick from the last video to this video I started filming. I literally cut the last video out and started this one the same day. Well, a matter of fact, while my last video was uploading, I was out here filming this one. So I'm just trying to think how to wrap this up, guys, and make it sound positive. So, while I know I don't sound like I'm in love with this car, because, well, frankly, I'm kind of not. I do feel like I overpaid for it. It does need a little bit more work than I thought. All things considered, I'm still happy I have it. Because, like I said, this is a bucket list car. I've got a lot of bucket list cars. That I was never sure I was ever going to cross off my list. Because every time I had the spare cash to spend on one, the prices were up and I couldn't find one for a price I could afford. And then when I couldn't find one for the price I could afford, either it just was not worth the money at all because it was way rougher than it appeared, or I no longer had the cash. So the cash had to go to other stuff. Or in the case of, like, well, the Rambler, I bought the Rambler instead of buying something else. So if nothing else, I get to experience one, even if this ends up being a short-lived thing and I sell it in 6 months. Who knows with me? 6 months from now, we could come back to this video and laugh about the fact that I was not in love with this car, because in 6 months I could be completely in love with it. It could be like the MGs, where it can do no wrong, no matter how bad it treats me sometimes, and it'll never leave the driveway. Or I could fix everything on it and go, I'm bored now, and sell it. So it all really depends on how things go from this point forward. It's at least solid enough that I can drive it. Because the floor pans upset me a little bit because they're rusted out, but everything structurally connected to them that's actually important on the car is solid. And there is still quite a bit of floor pan left. It's just like where your feet should be. There's nothing but a steel plate that's not factory for the car. So yeah. that being said, remember, don't go buy a car in a rainstorm. Go buy it on a nice day where you can crawl around underneath them and see how things look, and, you know, realize that there's no wiring connected to the driver's side headlight because you can have the hood open for more than 0.3 seconds. Or you can crawl under the dash to see that the brake light switch is broken in half. Or you can take the time to realize there's 45 metric ton of dog hair in the car. Because while the two of you were in it, you were more concerned looking at the seat covers that drove you crazy than the rest of the interior. More importantly, even on top of all that, if you're looking at something like this, 9 times out of 10 you know someone into it. You're not just into them by yourself. Normally you got a buddy into them. And one of the two of you know more than the other about the car in general, about the car as a whole, or about certain aspects of the car. Take that buddy with you. That way you're not looking at it alone. I didn't go look at this alone, but it was a downpour. My wife didn't want to get out of the truck. I don't blame her. So I can't blame her for any of this. Well, how could I? She never got out of the truck for good reason. She's sitting there with kids. She let me make this poor decision all by myself. And we joked about it later. Because we thought this was a 79. That's what the guy told us it was until we got the title done. It's 78. Like, great. It's another 79 shitbox grandpa all over again. I had a 79 Celica hatchback that we also picked up in a rainstorm just to get it home and realized it was way rustier than we thought. It made this thing look like a brand new car. But I drove it and I enjoyed it, and I had every intention of fixing it up until I got the 81. And once I got the 81, that one was just kind of not worth the effort anymore. So it went to a guy, I believe in Virginia, and it's now a rally car. So, alright, I am rambling again. I am getting good at rambling in these things. Like always, guys, remember, it's about the adventure, it's not about the destination. Look over your future projects before you buy them a little bit better. And if you're going to look at anything, remember, look at the floorboards. Y'all have a good day, y'all have a good weekend. Get out and work on your projects. I will see you next time.